it on again. I tear it up for the rest of the night. Hank come over to me and say, yo man, you's a bad motherfucker. Hey man, check this out.
Yeah! Stan the Man. The fastest rapper in the West. Now, that's my pop.
Wow. It was the days, man.
So you said, what's up everybody? Welcome to Mark C Productions, half hour of hip hop. Coming to you live and direct from the office with episode 3. Executive producer, camera technician, editing specialist. My daughter Mariah makes it possible for us to be on TV. Ah, that was hard, wasn't it hard?
That was a good one.
I'm only doing this freestyle because of our guest. We have a special guest. Are you pumped about the show?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You are?
Are you?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before I introduce our guest, a lot of you know him, of course, but I gotta say this though. Okay, on our first show, our first episode, our first guest was The Vicious Street, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Our second episode was 3D/D-Train, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're on the same wavelength, I think we're on the same brainwave. I said wavelength, that's not this brainwave, right?
Right.
I messed that up, I'm sorry. You don't gotta edit it. But anyway, okay, so you know how they say the first time is this, the second time is this, and the third time is always the... I thought you were gonna say it. Third time is the...
Charm?
Yes!
Oh.
Yes, we're on the same wave and brain length.
Brain, yep.
Brain wave. Okay, so I'm pumped up about this. But before I introduce him, I gotta say this. This is from your peers. People that is a part of your hip hop family growing up, coming up under the Mark C Productions umbrella, as far as other shows that was outside of the umbrella. But I'm gonna read some quotes from some of your peers. They knew, when I told them you were coming on the show, they were all excited. And this is what some of them said. Okay. This is about Stan the Man. He set the bar for how it's done as far as keeping the crowd engaged and entertained. He's the epitome of an MC. He's Pittsburgh's Curtis Blow. You know who said that? Sean D, aka SD, the Bad Seed from 3D. Sean D.
Wow.
From Hollywood said that. That was his quote. Got another one. Here it goes. I would say honestly, he's the heartbeat of hip hop, the main artery of old school Pittsburgh hip hop. He's the favorite rapper's favorite rapper. You know, said that.
Wow.
Is that deep?
That's deep, man.
That was your man.
Ty Sky.
Nah. 51st Curb.
My man DJ Bo.
There you go. DJ Bo, CEO of 51st Curb, said that. Those were his words.
My first DJ.
Your first DJ. We got that recorded.
It was me and Bo first before anybody.
DJ Bo, you call him Cousin Bo, you call him other things. Okay, we got another one. Stan's energy is infectious. He was on Leader. His stage presence is legendary. I've never seen any other rapper like him from Pittsburgh back then, and I still haven't seen any other rapper like him from Pittsburgh to this day. That's heavy.
That's a compliment, man.
You can get,
I'm very humbled by that.
Yeah, now who do you think said that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's how many people love you.
Wow.
That's how many people love you. And we haven't even introduced him yet. I'm just telling y'all what...
That's a deep compliment, man.
Yeah. Guess who that's by? The queen of rap.
Jazzy Love.
Jazzy Love.
The first female from Pittsburgh to drop a record on wax. She broke the ice for all of us.
Yes.
Her and the Lawn Ski and them.
Yes, the Sinisters of Sound.
Sinisters of Sound were the first groups and crews out of Pittsburgh. The only ones, and I can't forget my man Tuffy Tuff.
Yeah, but to the Sinisters of Sound's credit, they did drop before. I think hers was before Jazzy. I think. Yeah, I'm almost certain it is. Okay, but I got another one for you. When I first started making music, my main goal was to make Stan proud of me. Now I'm gonna read the quote again because this particular person is the reason why I got quotes from those other people. Because when I told this particular person you were gonna be on the next show, he said, I want you to make sure you tell him this. So I wrote it down. Then I wanted to make sure. Then I told him I need the actual quote again so I could be accurate. Now I'm gonna read the quote again because the key word is making music. When I first started making music, my main goal was to make Stan proud of me. You got to think about when you came up, who was under you, who was around you, and making music. And I'll give you a clue. They're around till this day. They're still around making music.
Nick Nice?
Nope. He played music but didn't make it. No offense, Nick Nice, but you didn't make music.
Was it
he played.
Pete Thomas? Coach Thomas?
Nah, but he did make music, but not Pete Thomas.
Because I remember me and Nick Nice and Pete and Tony.
Let's go back to...
We had a hip-hop band.
I'm going to give you another clue. Let's go back to the 80s when hip-hop was just starting to rise. Graffiti.
My man Smash.
Here you go.
My main man Smash. Let me tell you something.
I said graffiti and I knew that would trigger it off.
He painted a mural on my wall. And I got a picture of it in my cell phone. I got to make sure I send it to you.
Okay.
DJ
and I'm about to send the Smash, so I know he's going to want it.
He was an artist. He could rap. He could make beats. And he was a hell of a graffiti writer.
Yes.
I used to call him DJ Smash and Smash Money.
Yep. So he was the one who set it off with the quotes. He said, make sure you tell Stan this. This is how I felt. So when I said graffiti, I knew you would know Smash. Yep. So without no further delay, let's introduce our guest for episode 3. Stan the man, the S to the T, the A and L-E-Y, the dark-skinned brother, the cool fly guy.
What's up, Pittsburgh? Much love to the bird. There's no place like Pittsburgh. We got a style of our own. We always had talent here. I like to say big up to the grand man Mark C. Long before there was a Puffy, before there was a Funkmaster Flex, Mark C was throwing big time parties, big time throwdowns. You know what I'm saying? I like to say what's up and peace to all the pioneers in Pittsburgh and all across the world. I like to say what's up to my main man, Rich McCord. The first person
DJ
I ever saw DJ a live party, and from there I was off and running.
Question. Now I'm glad you said that. Okay, one of my questions I wrote down. I got other questions, but I wrote this one down before you came up. Right before you called me, said I'm on my way over. Just popped up in my head. When did you become Stan the man? I remember you from Fort Pitt Arsenal and everything. So when did you become Stan the man?
Well, I remember we was in middle school, junior high. It's 1976-77.
Yeah.
So we have a spring dance. They treated us to a spring dance. The DJ is Rich McCord. This is my first time seeing a live DJ. Yeah, I remember we 12, 13 years old.
What grade? You remember your grade?
I think we were in the 7th grade.
Who was your homeroom teacher? I know you don't remember. I just wanted to ask you that. Was it Miss Buick?
Either Miss Ayanada.
Miss Ayanada, okay.
And
I had Miss Buick. Okay, I thought
Rich come. He set up his equipment.
In the gym. Arsenal Middle School gym.
Yeah. Now mind you only thing I knew about rhyming back in them days was we would see Muhammad Ali on TV. He would say rhymes before his fight and all that.
Right.
You know. Then there was another dude. My brother had a lot of records and albums. It was a dude named Lightning Rod. He would say rhymes and stuff on record, The Last Poets and all that. But Rich, man, he come through the school dance. So I remember, man, the kids, we all standing around. Rich start warming up the turntables. All you hear is, to the roof off the sucker, to the roof off the butt sucker, to the roof off the sucker.
Parliament. Fucking done
The whole gym rocking. We standing around. Rich get on the microphone and say, I got 2 on the floor. I need 2 more. Y'all, come on. To the roof off the sucker, to the roof off the butt sucker, to the roof off the sucker. So first we stand around. So at this time, the females at our junior high, we had Rainey Johnson, Lisa Cook, Elise from Lawrenceville,
Elise the Scrapper.
We had a lot of sharp sisters that we went to middle school with. So we get a Soul Train line.
Right.
So he throws on this record by this group called Brick. Dance band, So we start coming down the Soul Train line. We dancing, man. Rich blending the records. So now he grabbed the microphone. Everybody dancing. Now Rich is a veteran at DJing. He starts saying, sweat. get wet. Sweat. Till you get wet. Everybody dancing. Rich is like, how long can you go? How long can you last? The gym was rocking. The party was rocking so hard. I never forget the school let us stay an hour extra. Remember that?
Yeah. So that inspired you to start rapping?
That inspired me. Music, I started following Rich. Wherever he did a teenage party, the YMCA, wherever he was at, Friday night, Saturday night, I was there. And I remember I used to stand on the sideline sometimes and just watch him hitting his buttons, cueing the records, because I was trying to learn. And Rich was before his time. He had the B1 Technique belt drive turntables. He had sophisticated electronics, man. He had speakers on tripods, and the sound was incredible. And back in them days, we was into like pop locking, the robot, and all that. You know, breakdancing didn't even come to Pittsburgh yet, but we was
that was before breakdancing.
We was waving and popping, and I had a buddy named Sean Steed and another buddy
Rest
named
in
Garrett.
peace, Sean Steed.
And we used to make up routines and come to the parties, man.
Sean was a little younger than us, but yeah, he was.
And we would dance, and the party would be packed. The YMCA would be packed, man, and we'd be in there dancing, man. It was a hell of a time to be around. It was like from like 77 all the way up to like 85. It was a hell of a time to be around.
So what year was you said you became Stan the Man, the MC? And you became more even polished as time went on. So would you know what year would that be? Because it couldn't have been that year. So it came later, or
it was like 79, 80.
Okay, which brings me to a question. 1982.
Mm-hmm.
On a Vicious 3 episode, the first episode of Half Hour Hip Hop, we touched on a talent show that they were in, and I wrote some stuff for them, and then Teddy O Bell, my man, R.I.P.
Rest
Teddy
in
O.
peace to Teddy O, my main
he
man.
came to me and said, I want to get a talent show. So we became the Fabulous 3. They came in first, we came in second, but you were also in that talent show. And I'm gonna remind you on this one, okay? Because I want to make a note of this. Nick Nice, before he was Nick Nice, was in your band. You came up with a band.
We had a hip hop band.
Do you remember what you called Nick Nice?
The White Lightning.
And you know what else you called him?
What else did I call
Okay, so let me explain this. Let me go back to what happened. So the talent show, we're getting ready. This is not my time. I don't know why I gave this. I wasn't even like promoting yet. So Stan comes up with his crew, and they got Nick. That was my first time seeing Nick. And what did he play, the bongos?
He played the bongos.
Okay, I wrote that down, bongos. He played the bongos.
And check this out. We had a hip hop band about 2 or 3 years before Stetson Sonic. That's how
Probably longer than Stetson.
We was before our time. We had Pete Thomas on the guitar, Dave Zeckender on the bass, Nick on the bongos, and we had Tone McRae on the drums, and it was 4 MCs. It was me, Kevy Cav, Duffy Clark, and Rob Fuller, Doc Smooth.
Rob Fuller. What was the name of y'all band?
We was called the Fly Guys.
The Fly Guys. Now check this out. When Stan comes up with his entourage and his band and everything, he was like, yeah, he's our affirmative action. You said Nick was affirmative action. He's like, he's our token. That's what you said.
Yeah.
And Nick was all happy to be there and everything. And later, he did his thing. So
before Nick started DJing.
Yeah, he was still in high school. So okay, now I got another one. There was another talent show, and this was like 85, early 85. And this is when I first started getting the promotions and everything, but I was also the manager of the Vicious 3, so I gave the talent show, but I put under the Vicious 3's name because they was raising money for jackets. So the talent show was given by the Vicious 3 that I promoted. So that card had Stan, Cool K-Kel, and Art. This was after the band wasn't there. It was just the 3 of y'all.
Right.
And then you had Taz Sky, Mr. Bill was there. They had on the leather.
Rest in peace to Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill. And then you had the T-Force from the North Side.
They was nice.
They won that talent show that day because they came up with some energy and
nice, man.
Yeah, they were
They could harmonize just like the Crash Crew.
They was definitely
nice, man. Big up to the T-Force.
Okay, now before we play your music, I got 2 more questions to go into your first song that you don't know what I'm about to play, right? So, all right, there's been this legend that's been going on for years and years. And I think I talked to you about it,
Mhm.
and you did tell me it did happen, and the other person said it happened. But when this particular person first went to Garfield, y'all allegedly battled. I wasn't there. It happened on Cornwall Street, from what I hear.
Me and Timothy Lee?
Yes.
Yes, we went at it.
And he had just moved to Garfield from
Mhm.
Homewood on Cornwall, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about the battle, because I've heard different stories, but I want to hear your story. And how did that battle come about?
Tim was a true lyricist, man. He could
Yes, he
speak
was.
it right, man. He was our version of LL Cool J. Tim was nice. The only thing I had over him, I could rhyme off the top of the head.
Right.
You know, we went back and forth that night. We battled for a long time. You know,
How did it start? Like, what happened? Like, you had to come on Cornwall because you really didn't go
Yeah.
on Cornwall.
and that night, I'm not gonna say I got him. I'm not gonna say he got me. We were just going back and forth with rhymes.
Funny thing is, he said the same thing.
Yeah, and
He said he don't know if you got, not verbatim what you said, but
Mhm.
meaning the same thing. Nobody won, he said.
Yeah, he was a bad boy, man. He was our version of LA Cool J. Tim could write music, man. He was talented, man. He was nice. He had another dude that used to MC with him. I forget.
Eric Mitchell.
Yeah.
And then Mark Givner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's what he's living at home with.
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear your side because we talked about. I just wanted to refresh everybody.
And that was my main man.
Yeah.
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 Tim is doing life in prison over a messed up situation, a mishap.
Which we'll get into because Mariah, we talked about that some. Yeah, that's. But I wanted to like go back to you though.
Mhm.
But so nobody won.
Nah, man, we went at it that night. Man.
Okay, nobody won. Okay, Pittsburgh All-Stars. You were like the face of the Pittsburgh All-Stars because of your MCing ability. You would get the crowd going. You would come out. Now, we went to Broadhead. It was in 85. And there wasn't like 3D text on the last episode.
Mhm.
There wasn't a big crowd. It was Standing Man was there, 3D, the Vicious 3 and the Lady MCs. No, Vicious 3 actually, and Lady MCs were separate then. It was another Smash, wasn't that at that one. But anyway, after the show was over, it was just a handful of people. Their version of Standing Man in Broadhead, his name was Dre Dog Ski.
Okay.
So after the show's over, we're outside in the parking lot.
Mhm.
And Dre Dog Ski wanted to get up on stage. And my brother and me was like, nah, the show's over.
Uh-huh.
He got mad. And then you got mad because he was trying to diss us. Like just talking shit or whatever. So we go outside, everything spills out. It wasn't no fight or nothing, but
Mhm.
he's talking. And then he's like almost not knowing you, he tried to challenge you.
Mhm.
And he said his verse. And I already knew he wasn't going to win. And you got pumped. You was like, oh, you go just going like that Standing Man. Pumped up Standing Man. And you lit into him. You said a freestyle.
Wow.
And his name was Dredowski. And do you remember what you said? I know you don't.
I can't even
But
remember, man.
I'm
It
going
was
to tell you.
so long ago.
You said something on the lines of something. How dare you challenge me, Dredowski? You smell like pee. That's what you said. Now that was verbatim. Dredowski, you smell like, and everybody who was on his side started laughing. He got mad and left. He walked away. But you crushed him. You crushed him.
Wow.
And you didn't battle because nobody challenged you because they had respect and they knew that you could go forever. You can go forever. So now I had to say that because I knew you would remember. But Dredowski, you was pumped and
I remember us being out there that night.
you remember being out
I
there.
remember us being out there that night. Because Sly used to take us all over the city. He would take us everywhere, man. We even did bar mitzvahs for Jewish people.
Yeah, that was in '85. Now we're going to start your first song, 1986, March 26, 1986.
Wow.
Do you know where the venue is? I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna see if you know.
I think it was at Fort Pitt School?
No. After Fort Pitt, but a year later.
Garfield Y?
Go further down, East Liberty. There's your hint.
Was it the Kingsley Center?
Further down, bigger spot.
Bigger spot.
Okay, the same night the Timothy Lee and EC battled, the battle part 2. That same night is the night of the song I'm about to play.
What venue was that? I know they had a disco spot called the 715.
There you go.
Wow.
715. It's now TNT
715.
Fashion.
Yeah.
TNT Fashion.
Yeah,
715.
man.
The American Legion 715. So, Standing Man and Cool K. Kel performed down there.
Live at the 715.
It was a show I had. It was the same night Timothy Lee and MCEC battled.
Okay.
Part 2.
Part 2.
So the part 1 was at the Y.
Yeah.
This is part 2. March 26, 1986. Yep. And let me see. You remember the name? Because you would come up with different names. Sometimes when you were by yourself, you was always Standing Man.
Right.
But sometimes when you was a Kel, you'd be the Kellogg's Crew. Then you would come up with a different name.
Because we had the Fly Guys. We had the Kellogg's Crew. Now, K. Kel is the original founder of the Kellogg's Crew.
Yes, he is.
That was his group.
Yeah.
I remember he put me in his crew. He had another MC named Rock and Rod. I don't know what happened to Rod. Rod was nice too. When I first met Kel, him and Rod was called Kirk and Spock.
Kirk and Spock. I like that.
Yup. And they put me in their crew. And
So you don't remember? Okay, so you didn't name the crew that you were that night. You didn't name the crew that you were that night. Guess what the name of your crew was?
what was it?
It was, I guess it might have been just for that night. Black Unity Funk.
Okay.
Black Unity Funk was the name of the crew. It was just you and KK. Now, before I play this episode, I want y'all to know, this was a party on stage. They sang happy birthday to a particular person you'll see, and they start out doing their thing. They was involved in the crowd. They start freestyling. So this is Standing Man and Cool KK at Marksy Productions
1986.
show. March 26, 1986, the same day as the battle. So you ready for this, Standing Man?
Man, let's check this out. Wow.
Black Unity Funk. Lonnie, light-skinned dude. Lonnie Calling. He was a DJ. His mom on this story slipping with Bernard.
Yeah.
Still has that story.
He's a model now for Stacey Adams.
Yeah, he's a model. So this DJ is now a model for this show, right?
Matter of fact, Lonnie and the guy that played Lucifer Empire, they were good buddies.
So you don't remember this yet?
I like shit like that. Check it out, y'all. Check it out, y'all. And I'll stop saying I'm in a right rock, y'all. See, I'm a woman in the rock and you'll see on the fight. I do it this way, yo, that's what I like. Stand up in your name, you know you know I can't. I ain't sort of doing it in a Hall of Fame. Do it better. Throw the goose cake out. Take it up, get up with the clientele.
86.
So listen, what you won't see is I know about this house right stupidly. Just get me off the mic and you join the door. That's the best MCs in the vibes galore. I'm sure you understand, I'm shot with stand. And the door, they got the agents on the mic. Going down the door, it's cool KK. There's nobody in the place, garage as well. I say, ho! Oh shit, yeah, stay there, y'all.
And they started to show out. They were the opening act because they like getting the crowd pumped up. Yeah. They were the first act of the show.
Y'all feel these liberties.
And a lot of people didn't like to go first because they were nervous and they didn't want to be the first act. But they knew what they were doing. So. That's you.
So when I die, bury me deep, think it bit too turn, take a bomb my feet. Get a mic in the mixer up on my head. It's close to casket, I'll rock the dead. And I'm twice trying, like a good MC said I'm in your neighborhood. So I said it once, I said it twice. Come on, we can't go.
It get nice, it get nice.
Yeah.
I knew it would come back to me there. That was my main man, take care.
The house is dying tonight. Fuck it, I like that.
They call me the first wrestling outfit. Listen to this
Oh
script.
shit, yeah. Where's Peabody at? I know everybody's in the house. Put your motherfucking hands in the air. Okay, Stan, hey Stan, get to the place. Hey, you know what? Hey Stan, you know what? What's up? It's time to song the new dance out. New dance, baby. Kick it. Oh, we'll take over your new dance. It's called the Handyman.
The Handyman.
Yeah.
Now on another episode, another show, he got another dance. You know the Handyman?
I think so. And you know what's crazy? Because this is before YouTube and we didn't have film footage.
I say, well, you don't like it, I'm so alright. This is that I'm man, rock the mic all night. I'm the powerful sheep, can't be stopped. It's like going to the body, and I get up on the floor. I'm so drunk.
Lonnie was nice. He was
Yeah, Lonnie can bring the records back. I bumped into Lonnie, man, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You ready, baby? One time. Come on, come on. We're the Kellogg's Crew, and we're original. Now don't be sound professional. We never hesitate, but you appreciate. So don't you fools try to imitate. We're back, we're slick, we're smart, quick. We are the killers, crew, no one else. I know we can't be strong, I ain't shooting see. We rock to the top, together forever. And any kind of weather will make your body rock. What you want? We'll make your body rock. We rock your body. It's so only in my seat when he's in control. With the right to my hand and the master plan. Go off, go off, go off, stand the man. When he's the man, I can rock the mic. I took a rock like another day. Damn, who can tell? I'm the evening, I'm a door with a higher tail. The cruise supreme, the rabbit bars. And the man, I go off and go on. Don't have no money, don't drive no cars. You're right, I don't have to be a superstar. Take 2 turns up a little microphone. Back away from home. Get on the bus, pick it up all. Drop a coin in the box and God be trust. Now what you hear is not a test. Get counts and a man, we shot for this. I'm standing a man, I'm so damn nice. If around this corner be a Cuba, you suck MC, take a step on back. Cause I'm the king of the youth with a gun that's strap. Can't care, you know you're one of a kind. Why don't you get on the mic, you bust the rhyme. All the rappers put it to this, cause I lay sin. I wanna just prove the matter, and try to convince. Can't kill it to get it, so don't get uptight. I'll stop and celebrate and go with your eyes tight.
He has a nice routine.
And what I like about y'all can do the same routine on a different show, but it will sound totally different.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed about y'all.
I'm sitting on the beat, but I am the best. What style, got that? Let's go up from there. Come on, put your hands in the air, y'all. Come on, put your fucking hands in the air like this. Come on, yeah, I see that shit on
Anybody else said happy birthday to me?
Check it out.
Whose birthday was it?
Y'all remember? I don't remember. Okay.
My homeboy Papa mentioned the ring and he's back, y'all.
Papa,
right here.
Jeffries, he had just came up from the Marines.
He's getting wrong.
It was his birthday, but that's a different thing. It could be a birthday.
DLC, where you at? What's your name, young lady?
It was Neil's birthday. Okay.
You look so fine, so you it's your birthday. And now you get no.
Now y'all fool Samantha Cloud's birthday was too. I started freestyling about it.
Oh man, this is a good right here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you another beat that we had. Remember Eric Harris?
Fresh Cuts.
Yeah.
Now they will call it Neil Steve about his birthday.
Get over here. I'm over there. Hey, well, cuz, come on. Here we go. Yeah, baby. That's right. Happy birthday to you.
It sounds like
Happy
ad-lib in the
birthday
score.
to you. Your Steve. Happy birthday, dear Dion. Happy birthday
Old school.
to you.
That's when everybody from every neighborhood, they get along.
Get together. What you wanna do? It's you and her and you. This sweet fly girl, what the fuck to do? It's a birthday present from up the bar. I'm made through the dark, but it's the love. Party time in the place for a rock. Hey, Cam, you know what you got? Be on feet and make you won't believe. He got more tricks up and down the street. He is big, no pay, and me too. He's outside with the boy top dollar. Me and better man stand side by side with the boogie in your body trying to make good night. Look at my boy Pat, he's cool as hell. He's standing right next to homeboy tail. And big old deal, big old ways. If y'all listen, go to won't sound the same. Look at my boy Phil, he's chilling out. I want the man on the mic and walk down the town. Look at my boy here. He
Just call people out in the crowd. That was girl Weedy mentioned.
My name is Hank Hill. I'm sure you will see. Cruise down, we're out in the place to be. So, I send a man who wants your life. Just showing everybody you're the king of the right. I get it. Now check it out, y'all. I'm down to rock the spot. I'm changing the place. She said a man, I got another man. With a fucking side now that right here. It's my home tour.
Pretty tall.
Yes, Congo. And he's the man. I rock this mic and do a West again. He's the money maker, the hunt breaker, the milkshaker, the lady taker. I'm in JD Rocker, the smooth talker. MC said I'm in around, about that, and you don't stop. Stop body rock, I'm the one I'm the keeper of the now it's a little story. I must be so proud of too hot to try to so oh. MC said I'm in for 5 5 10. Right to the I rock the one, I rock the one, the man. It's so damn nice and you don't stop. Stop body rock.
You remember that night the battle?
Because we all the best, we can't be denied.
He was nice too. He was working on the album too.
Yeah, y'all, break it off. Black unity,
Unity Crew.
Wow.
Yeah, Black Unity Crew. That was your crew.
That's deep.
Black Unity Funk.
30-some years ago.
Yes. That energy was incredible in that building that night.
The parties, and one thing about the parties, when we would throw a throwdown back in them days, everybody would come word of mouth and flyers. There was no internet.
You know, I was
No
all over the city
Instagram,
with flyers.
No Facebook. We had flyers from the Hill District all the way to Homewood, North Side, all over the city. People would come from all over because back then it wasn't about territory. There wasn't no gangs. If you was cool,
Just groups, rap groups.
you come to the spot, everybody party. It might be a fight every once in a while, but nobody was getting killed back then. And everybody was cool with each other, no matter what high school you went to. Everybody knew somebody.
Yep.
That's how it was back in them days. And I remember back in them days when I first got to high school, the rivalry was Peabody and Westinghouse. They would go at it. They would battle on football. As far as basketball, it was Shinley, and we was in Arsenal. It was Fifth Avenue was still open. Matter of fact, Fifth Avenue closed down the year we had the school strike.
Mm-hmm.
And then in baseball, you had Peabody, you had the boys over on Alder Ice,
good. Yeah.
and them boys out in South Hills.
Mhm.
They could play some baseball. But football, Westinghouse was always dominant. Peabody was good, but they couldn't beat Westinghouse. Westinghouse had the team, man. And I remember I lived in Garfield, and I had an older brother was a star tailback for Westinghouse, and we would get the blues. And then I remember Peabody had Larice Ashley and all them.
He was
Big
good.
Fred Dingles.
That was before we was even down in high
Yeah,
school.
Craig Walls and Cephas Bell and them and them. Man, them was the days, man.
Speaking of the days, what about community days?
Oh, man. Now, check this out. Our community days, we would have the showmobile come to Garfield. And a lot of y'all young people, we had two dudes that would do basement parties, and he also would come and do the community days. His name was Poe Rock. Rest in peace with my man, Poe Rock. He had a
Rest in
lot
peace,
of
Poe Rock.
talent. They would come. They had a band, the whole setup. Poe Rock would do his thing. Mr. Clarence had a band. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Jam, Hot Damn. Remember that?
Yeah. Okay, now the reason why I asked you about community day because you played an important part of a particular community day that I'm about to mention right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now back in it was 86. Okay, we're still in 86.
Okay.
Now we're in the fall, but it's going into the fall. You know, community day was always in August.
Mhm.
So this particular community day was in August. It was towards the third. It was the third week in August, but it rained that day. So Rich McCord postponed it. And do you remember where they had the makeup date at, and where was that?
Four Pitch Gym.
Uh-uh.
Where was we at?
Take 86.
86.
It rained, and it was outside, but it was one of the most. It only happened there one time. It never happened there again. September 6, 1986. Okay, I'll tell you. In back of the Y.
In back of the Y.
In back of the
Me
Y.
and DJ Bo.
There you go.
My favorite group that I would like to go off to, but he would slice up Vaughn Mason and Crew.
Bounce, skate, roll, rock. Yeah.
That was our cut. Bo would take that and slice it up.
Now, what I'm about to play, cause okay, let me set this up here. Okay, so the makeup date, Stan set it off again. He had the black, we said taught one,
Retired one.
had the
sweatsuit.
box, everything.
Yeah.
And we got that on video, but we're not going to show it today in a later episode. But anyway, what I'm going to play right now is this is towards the end of the show, so everybody's getting their last rap in. Now, mind you, Stan did his thing and rapped and rapped and rapped. But Rich McCord, he's like, come on, Rich, let me get on one more time. So you got on, and you did something special that stood out. And Mariah heard that. That's one of the ones she heard. What I'm about to play now, she heard. She didn't hear the first one we just played. She heard this one. And do you remember what you did? It was really, really unique. It's been done. It has been done, but you was the first person we seen do this.
Was it the walk dance?
No, it was a certain rap.
Certain rap.
On that note, we're going to leave Stan in suspense. And we're going to go to the back of the Y. Community Day, the makeup date, September 6, 1986.
Big up to Rich McCord.
We got to Rich McCord. And this is the same date. There was other people on the card. You had the Jazz Rock Crew. You had Grand Wiz. Lacey was beatboxing. You had the little rappers. There was a lot of people. Timmy Lee and Jazzy Love did their first song together. It's called The Queen and King of Rap. So this is a standing man. He doesn't know what this is, but as the song plays, we're going to see, because a lot of this is freestyle.
I used to go off the top of the dome.